Cast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our webinar, The Essential Role of Virtual Tape for IBM Power Systems. Thank you for joining. My name is Axe Signer, Vice President of Electronic Storage Corporation. We are located in Tulsa, Oklahoma, have been in business for over 30 years. We are a software developer. So here at our corporate office, we have our own programming staff, also our own customer support and technical support staff here in Tulsa. We are an IBM registered business partner and a Microsoft certified partner. So we're going to talk about how virtual tape brings important functions and benefits to your IBM I backup and recovery over and beyond what traditional physical tape provides. So essentials for effective backup and recovery. Number one is speed. So backing up to disk with a disk-to-disk backup solution, ViTL solution, provides you much higher speed and backup, shortening your backup windows. Flexibility, offering the ability to even increase the amount of data that you're backing up because of the speed. Many of our customers do change from, say, a save changed object backup to a full backup on a daily basis, just for the simple fact that the backups are much faster compared to physical tape. Ease of use. So really simple, intuitive solution provides easy access to your virtual tape inventory, to be able to manage those tapes easily, and to be able to secure those tapes. Streamline your operations, meaning that a fully automated backup procedure, whereas opposed to physical tape in which you're having to transport, load, unload tapes, load physical tape library magazines. You're going to be able to streamline those backup operations. Centralized management, so being able to manage your backups from any location, whether you're working remotely or working in the data center, you will be able to centralize the management of those backups. Reduce risk to data, we're going to talk about that in terms of replicating backups, having more than one copy, which for tape, really you would just have one copy. With virtual, you can have multiple copies. We're going to talk about saving on storage costs, so reducing the footprint of disk storage with certain capabilities and features that a ViTL solution provides. And boost data recovery, meaning that you can get access to your backups much more quickly, much more easily. There would be no delay in doing a particular recovery, even if it's just a simple object restore that you need from a particular virtual tape. You can have everything online available to immediately perform a restore. So the need for speed, faster backups, and faster recovery. So if we take a look at comparisons from LTOs all the way up to LTO 9 compared to a ViTL solution where you're backing up to disk instead of physical tape, you can see that you can easily double the speed of your backups. So cutting your backup window in half gives you the ability to have a shorter downtime on your system, and to be able to even back up more data if needed, and changing your backup strategy to make it to encompass everything that you need on a daily basis in order to recover. Integration and advanced capabilities. So a simple transition is what a ViTL solution provides. A ViTL solution being that you are able to use your existing backup commands, you're able to use BRMS, you're able to use robot save. Simply just saying what we're going to do is with a ViTL solution is switch over our backup procedure, whatever that might be, over to a new tape library, which would be a virtual tape library to the IBM I, or to a virtual tape device, depending on how your current backups are being managed. Remote management, meaning that you can access your tapes from home, you can access your tapes from anywhere with a browser interface. It gives you the ability to go and see your inventory of tapes, have an audit of all your tapes, and also being able to load and restore anytime that you need to. unlimited tape library management. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that when I go through the demo of our particular solution and just show you how it can be an unlimited number of tapes, virtually an unlimited number of tapes that can be available for you to access at any time. Fully automate. So being that your tapes are online in a virtual scenario, in a virtual tape library or virtual tape device, you're going to have the ability to, when you do run backups, that these virtual tapes automatically load in the virtual drive. The backup is performed, and the virtual tapes unloaded back into inventory. So that's going to occur without any changing out of physical tapes in a physical tape library or tape device. Multi-thread feature, and this is one of the features and capabilities of our particular solution that offers really fast backup speeds, because our solution will actually write the data during the backup to multiple files at the same time. So we're taking advantage of multiple core processors within a server that's running our ViTL solution to give you that backup speed. Archive and purge. So this gives you the ability to automatically archive your backups, whether that's cloud storage, whether that's you could actually archive to physical tape. You could archive to a DR site, co-location, or other data center that you want to archive your backups, and that can be a completely automated process. As well as purging, giving you the ability to set retentions on your backups, and maybe even changing your retention policy if you're looking to store a longer set of dailies, weeklies, monthlies. You can certainly define an automatic purge solution that meets your backup requirements and your retention requirements. Data deduplication. What is it and why would you want it? Well, you can get rid of redundant copies. So our particular solution, we offer an add-on license of our product called BDupe that actually does block level data deduplication. And basically what that means is it's going to decrease your storage needs. It's going to save on your storage costs, your footprint of storage, which is actually the more disks you have, the more power consumption. So you're going to be able to reduce costs dramatically and also reduce your network traffic simply because you're only replicating new blocks that have new and changed data. You're saving blocks that have new and changed data only. Blocks that already have the data saved don't get saved again. So this reduces your footprint on disk storage, as well as the amount of data that you're replicating each day, whether it's cloud storage replication, DR site, or even both for that matter. And improve the protection of your data. So this just simply means that being that it's faster and easier to keep multiple copies of your backups, this is going to eliminate having just one copy, which is what you would typically or always have with physical tape. Also, just a note on data deduplication, we do partner with backup solutions such as Cohesity, Exagrid, Rubrik, just to name a few that can be used to save IBM backups. And those solutions perform functions such as data deduplication, replication, encryption, snapshots, things like that. And what we're showing in this diagram to the left is a ViTL solution, our ViTL solution, being a gateway to storage. Whether that's SAN or NAS storage or a deduplication backup appliance, the data can be written through LaserVault as the ViTL solution directly to that storage. Restore and recovery, it's fast because all your tapes can be available instantly to recover. One thing to note in a technical aspect of doing a restore from a virtual tape is that with our particular solution, we will go right to that object, that file, that library that is on the virtual tape so that the restore begins immediately as soon as it's executed. Reliable being that you have multiple copies of your tapes to virtual tapes that you're replicating, reliable in that you can have issues with physical tape where you're not able to read the tape. The tape could have gotten damaged, it could have gotten lost, it could have gotten mislabeled. These are all things that with a ViTL solution, you can mitigate that risk of data loss. Easy replication ensures multiple copies, and not only easy replication, but a completely automated replication process that we'll talk about and kind of demonstrate a little bit when I show you what our product looks like. So backup enhanced data deduplication, just some of the settings that are involved with deduplication within our solution, BDup. This is an additional license. Our product does come standard with compression, which averages around 4:1, as well as encryption. With data deduplication, your compression can be as high as 12:1 or even as high as 40:1, just depending on the rate change on your particular data. Whereas production partition could be a higher rate change, right? Because you're adding transactions on a daily basis. So therefore, it could be lower in the lower end where 12:1 compression, whereas other data can be as high as 40:1 compression with data deduplication. Okay, so I was going to show you some of the features and capabilities of LaserVault ViTL. So this is our web interface. We can securely log in with our username and password. I'm going to log in as administrator. First thing I'm going to do is go ahead and click on libraries. Show you some of the parameters when defining a virtual tape library within LaserVault ViTL. Some of those the parameters include the library name, simply whatever you want to call this virtual tape library, which corresponds to the library name over here to the left. I'll show you in a moment. Library path, this is where your virtual tapes are written, stored, and recovered from. This could be instead of a local disk path on a server. This could instead be a SAN or NAS path via SMB, NFS, share. And this is what really kind of sets our solution apart from many others, is that this doesn't have to be an appliance-based solution, meaning that if you'd like to leverage existing storage for your backups with SAN or NAS storage, with data deduplication backup solution that you currently have in place that you'd like to also use for your IBM I backups, it just potentially, if you have such storage, would allow you to leverage that and not have to purchase additional storage. Our solution emulates all the way up to LTO 8. None of these LTO options have a storage limit. So if your full backup is 10 terabytes, you can write that to one virtual tape. So you're not having to span multiple tapes if your current backup does that today. Because of the LTO size limitation, this product does not have that. It also doesn't relate to speed either. The number of storage slots, we talked about unlimited tape library storage. This number can go as high as 16,000, I believe it's 350 slots. You can increase this number anytime that you want. If you need to add more virtual tapes into the tape library, you can increase that number and go ahead and add more tapes up to over 16,000. This data block file count feature. This is where the multi-threading setting comes into place for backup speed. This goes from 0 all the way to 32 files. So it's currently, the default is 8, meaning that when you're performing a save and it's saving to a virtual tape within the virtual tape device, and you perform the save, we're actually writing to 8 files at the same time. So we're writing multiple files, the data, and then you still have just the virtual tape. When you do a restore, the tape would get loaded, which contains the library object file that you're wanting to restore. and LaserVault knows where that data is in those files and performs the restore. Several cache settings that we have for backup and restore speed. So write cache and read cache can be defined in order to obtain the fastest backup and recovery speed. Standard again is compression, which is currently checked. Deduplication, additional licensing for our product. Encryption is included. Encryption can be performed on deduped data as well. Your encryption key, this is AES 256 encryption. So checking that box, having your key available means that the data as it's being saved is being encrypted on disk. Replication and retention. So I have three different examples of replicating virtual tapes. Network paths. So let's say, for example, you had two LaserVault ViTL servers, one at, say, a production location, one at a DR location. This would be the case in which automatically virtual tapes are being replicated from one storage server to the next or to the other. Amazon S3, Microsoft Azure. We have settings for Microsoft Azure S3 and as well as Wasabi. Those are already put into place within those replication options. Let's take a look at Amazon S3. So storage properties for your cloud storage account are here. So when you create or have an existing object storage account with, say, Amazon or whomever, then you've got that information in there for LaserVault to automatically replicate to that storage. You can replicate based on most recent volumes, set to 5, or you can replicate based on all volumes. And you can also specify with the serial prefix with your volume ID, whatever you're using as a prefix, say for example D for daily, you can apply this replication job to only those volumes. Asterisk means that it applies to all the volumes. You have send notifications, so an email address can be used to send email notifications of the replication job when it begins and when it completes, or if there is an error message. So once it's defined here on how you're going to replicate, then there's going to be a scheduled job that runs. Typically, it would be after your backup is complete, in which the replication of that volume that you just saved to gets replicated. Then you also have local retention and remote retention. You can do this based on age, based on number of volumes. Most cases, local and remote retention are done when a customer is using the go save commands. They're not using BRMS or robot save, which those products automatically expire tapes and initialize them when they reached their retention, and then they get reused. If you happen to be using this just as a virtual tape device with go save commands, option 21, etc., then you can go here and have LaserVault maintain the retention of your tape volumes. They can be deleted or they can be initialized. And then you also have the ability to set the same retention for your remote copies, or even a different retention if you'd like to store the replicated copies on a different retention on the remote site. Now, LaserVault connectivity supports fiber channel from the IBM Power System over to LaserVault ViTL. Also, we support SAS. So whether your current system has fiber channel available or SAS available, either will work. With fiber channel, LaserVault does support NPIV. So for each physical port within LaserVault, whether it's 8 gig, 16 gig, 32 gig, 64 gig, can support up to 64 virtual tape devices per physical port. So if you do have the need, based on your backup volume and your partitions, to have multiple devices, those can be defined up to 64 devices per fiber channel port. Those are actually managed right here under tape drives, to where you can add additional tape devices to a tape library. This single entry where you have control path yes with this worldwide port name represents one tape library with a tape device. So this is my LaserVault tape library and the LaserVault tape device for this particular connection. Adding additionals would be adding control path no for the next entry, which would become another tape device for that tape library. You also have security features based on groups. So users that have access to this interface would belong to a particular group, and then these are the features that they would have or not have once they log in. Okay, so let's take a look at library 1. So this is the configuration where you have a path for your tapes, export path, and export path being if you'd like to move a tape to that path and store it elsewhere, not store it here in the library path. So if you do an export, it will move the tape from here to that path. You can use import, this button up here kind of in the middle, to bring that tape back into inventory to recover from it. This particular path is actually cloud storage path. You can go here to create a tape or multiple tapes. Put your volume serial there, whatever one. Usually folks use 1 to 3 characters for a prefix. Specify that you want to initialize that tape. Specify the quantity, and those tapes will be created. If you're needing to put a capacity on these tapes, you can go ahead and do that here. So say you're saving journals throughout the day and you're appending to that same tape, you can put a limit on that to where it'll go to the next tape and start performing those appended saves. As an admin, I can move a tape. So you can move a tape to a slot, move a tape to the drive, delete a tape, export a tape, protect. Protecting the tape means that it cannot be overwritten, it cannot be deleted, and it cannot be initialized until the protect is removed. And that can actually be an automated process that you perform in your backup procedure. You can see the flags here where the C is compressed over under properties and the P is for protect. So you can see those property flags there. So your slots, your volume ID, which you are allowed 6 characters from the IBM I to name a tape. And then we also provide physical size and logical size. Physical size being after compression and logical size being before compression. You can also click on labels, this option here, and it will show you all of the libraries and sequence that are in that virtual tape that were saved. Okay, so let's do a quick recap of what virtual tape brings to IBM I Backup and Recover. Cost efficiency, so reduce the cost of purchasing, storing, transporting, recovering, retrieving tapes, physical tapes, maintaining physical tapes. So you're having a cost reduction there, a time and labor reduction there in terms of eliminating physical tape and using a virtual tape solution. Speed and performance, so we've talked several times here about the faster backup and recovery times than traditional physical tape. The scalability options that you have to deal with growing data volumes, increased number of retentions that you need for additional virtual tapes, your data integrity, so you're going to have reliable backups, mitigate data loss, multiple copies, stored at multiple locations, automate, So you're going to simplify automations, centralized management. So, and then compatibility, where it seamlessly integrates with your existing backup and recovery software, BRMS, robot save, go save commands, go backup options, option 21, demode IPL. So you have all the capabilities of easily migrating over from physical tape to virtual tape, because it's to the IBM I, it's exactly the same thing. So we do have some additional resources that you can download. A sizing questionnaire. This is important for us to help you configure fiber channel connectivity, disk storage, server requirements, things like that, number of tape devices, LPARs, to give us an idea of, say, what do you need in terms of hardware and fiber channel, SAS, etc., in order to make your backup, your new backup virtual solution, exactly what you need to meet your backup requirements. Some data sheet information, virtual versus physical. Some of our particular customer testimonials are there too, and the benefits of using there. So go ahead and download any of that. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and answer a couple questions here. Yes on the replication to cloud without additional license. Yes on that. Yes, the data on tape would be, if you're storing at multiple locations, and you're going to have within your secured network capabilities, the really the ultimate data immutability is, or air gap as we call it, would be to physical tape. And we do have some customers that actually have that requirement, but they're saving to virtual tape. So they want the benefits of the backup speed, and they want the benefits of being able to easily and quickly recover. But some of their backups, or maybe multiple of their backups, particularly their fulls, they might copy to tape for an air gap, so that they can store those. But they're not necessarily relying on those tapes or need those tapes on a daily basis because of the virtual capabilities. And then also, to answer that question too, I know that several of our partners in storage in terms of backup and recovery, such as Exagrid, Rubrik, Cohesity, and others, offer features like snapshots, things like that, for their particular solutions. Oh, so now online custom demo. So if you'd like to schedule a demo with us, we can certainly go over your backup requirements, the partitions that you're saving, so that we can help you configure. One thing to also note that I didn't note before was this can be in a virtual environment. In your server that's hosting the virtual environment would need a PCIe slot for a fiber channel, HBA for the IBM I connectivity. In order to emulate in order to emulate physical tape, we would connect the same way as a physical tape library or a physical tape device. Okay, so I wanted to thank everybody for their time. Doesn't look like we have any more additional questions. We'll have a drawing for Bluetooth earbuds held after this session, and we'll email the winner via we'll notify the winner via email, and we'll post on our website. So look for that if you happen to be the winner. You can contact us at info@laservault.com, 800-444-6283, extension 1. And also, for a demonstration, we do offer a $50 Amazon gift card for your time. So if you do schedule and complete a demonstration, we would go ahead and send that to you via email. So wanted to thank everybody for their time. And if you need to get in contact with us, there's our info. and we'd be glad to help you guys out. Thanks very much. Have a good day.